Well, we're bullish about China equity. We think if you look at the leading indicators, right, which is the government policies, already turned more supportive for the economy as well as for the market. And just take, the technology space as one example. Last year, there was a lot of policy risks, right? So one round after another, the government cracked down anti-monopoly and so on and so forth. This year has been very supportive. President Xi himself published an article to support digital economy. So I think this year, the Chinese equity market has more potential to outperform global indices, particularly, I would say, Hong Kong market.
We may be in a position where the China regulators have eased off from the activity that they were performing in the tech sector, but we're still seeing a lot of activity coming from the international trade tension front. Now, we've seen a couple of those companies being put on the US's notorious markets list, which seems really rather fortuitously coincidental with Taiwan's decision now to try and introduce legislation against this so-called pirating of software by China, or pirating of technology from China. It all seems to be part of what is an ongoing attempt to stifle some of China's growth in this front. How bad do you think that is, and how bad could it get?
Yeah, so on the margin, these kind of negative news coming from the U.S. certainly not good for these companies. But we also need to keep in mind, these internet giant companies, their revenue mostly came from China, right? So, and I think their stock price dropped so much last year, mostly driven by the policies coming from China side. So if there's a big change that happening on China side in terms of government policy stance towards these companies, I think it matters a lot. And I think the policy change already happened. On the U.S. side, I think the policy against the Chinese companies will probably stay rather hostile, right, going into the next few years. But it's more nominal. I would say the real consequence on the economy on these companies not really that big.